Good evening, folks. We're back tonight with a mixed bag of things we're going to talk about relative to the WNBA, the Indiana Fever, and of course, Caitlin Clark. So the first bit of information is about this 2024 Panini WNBA Platinum Caitlin Clark rookie card, which not only carries her signature, but also a swatch of her jersey. This card sold at auction for a staggering $660,000. If there's ever any question in anybody's mind about Caitlin Clark's popularity, this should just about seal it, okay? You know, it's mind-blowing. It truly is. So hang on here. We're going to show you this article. Caitlin Clark's rookie card sells for record $660,000. Now, this card is representation of her 2024 season with the Fever. Now, in March, there was another Panini rookie card, a Caitlin Clark card, that sold for $366,000. So in spite of the fact that she's injured and has only played about 12 games this year, her popularity just continues to soar. It's amazing. People miss her. They want to see her play ball, and it's not going away, folks, okay? So let's talk about that for a minute, because clearly someone here in WNBA land and in the Indiana Fever general vicinity doesn't seem to get the message that people want to see Caitlin Clark play basketball, and they want to see her play basketball the way she plays basketball, which was evident in the first two games of the season. In the first game of the season, she scored 20 points, had 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. She had a triple-double in the first game of the season, okay? In the second game of the season, she had 27 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds, okay? She broke the league record for the most career games with 25-plus points and 10-plus assists. The league record for a career in just 42 games. Through the first 5 games of this season, when she was healthy, she had 2 double-doubles and a triple-double out of 5 games. She did what most players take more than one season to do. This is what Caitlin Clark is capable of doing when she's healthy. So for the people out there who are saying she's having an off season, I'm going to repeat something to you. She's not that far off of her record-breaking rookie season, where she averaged 19.4 points and, I believe, 8.4 assists per game. This year, she's at 16.5 with 8.8 assists per game. And I will tell you, if you look at the pace of the way she started playing at the beginning of this season, I believe that girl could have had triple-doubles and at least double-doubles for a hell of a lot of games during the season had she been allowed to play the way she plays ball. And I assumed that is why the Indiana Fever drafted her. Now, if they drafted her to force her into Stephanie White's slow down, plodding basketball style, then they made a significant mistake. All right? So let's talk about the next thing I want to show you. I got to go here to get on so I can show you the next thing I want to show you. If this will just go away so I can get in there. There we go. So here's a poll conducted on Twitter by Swag, all right? So here's the question. If Caitlin Clark leaves the Fever, would you still support the Fever? Take a look at this. Nope, my bags are packed. 75.4% are saying they would not stay loyal to the Fever. 9% say, yes, I'm Fever for life. And then 15% don't even count because they were just there to check out the results. Okay. I was not in the just there to check out results. I picked, nope, my bags are packed. Okay. So for the benefit of the people in the Fever front office, this should be something they might want to think about as they move forward. I mean, come on, folks. You know, the Indiana Fever have the face of the franchise sitting right in front of them. And I'm going to say this again. You know, when Christy Sides was let go, she had one message when she was asked what she thought. And she posted something to the effect, leave things better than the way you found them. And you know what? By the second half of the season, now, you know, people didn't like Christy Sides, but I suggest to you that Christy Sides didn't have the best team to work with. Okay, come on, let's face it. Until Caitlin Clark joined the Indiana Fever, they had not made the playoffs in 7 years. Stephanie White already did a stint with the Fever in 2016, and it wasn't good. Okay, the results weren't good. 7 years without a playoff appearance until Christy Sides let Caitlin Clark run with the ball in the second half of last season when they went 18-11. 18-11 with Caitlin Clark running the offense. And we still don't get it here. The Fever still doesn't get it. Okay? You know, and for the benefit of all the people out there who say that the Fever is better without Caitlin Clark, you know what? That's just, you know what? Here's the thing. When you have somebody as popular as Caitlin Clark and someone as good as Caitlin Clark at what they do, people just they love to drag people down. It's a thing with the human race, quite frankly. They love to talk smack because, you know, nothing says I'm a really nice person unless you can kick someone when they're down. Caitlin Clark has dealt with injuries all of this season. And I dare say a lot of those injuries are coming from repetitive physical abuse on the court. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking that she doesn't receive more physicality than other WNBA players, because you can look at it on the films. She most certainly does. Okay? And why does she receive more physicality? Because people don't know how the hell to stop her once she gets in a rhythm. And she's not been able to get in a rhythm all season long because of repetitive injuries. And there's no question in my mind that what was done to Caitlin Clark at the game I was at in Boston was contributing to re-aggravating that groin injury when that knee went into her groin during her move to the basket. End of story. I'm tired of saying it. And the problem stems from the fact that the referees don't blow the whistle. And if the referees did blow the whistle, then we would be able to see Caitlin Clark play basketball. In the men's game, they blew the whistle. They blew the whistle the year after Michael Jordan spent most of his time on the injured list, because no one knew how to stop Michael Jordan either. I say this all the time. The referees have a responsibility to keep the game under control. None of this, you know, elevating something to a flagrant 2 foul the day after the game. Okay? None of that bull. It's absolute ridiculousness. You make the calls the day of the game. You call that foul when it happens. And if it's a flagrant 2, ejection. That's the way it needs to be. Because once the players play dirty and get away with it, they keep playing dirty. So, one other thing before I move on to the next little tidbit we have here. Kathy Engelhardt said that the teams that are complaining about the fouling situation and the referees are not good teams. Well, I'm going to tell you something. There are players out there who have made statements that they want to be free to do whatever they need to do to win championships. And I'm going to tell you what I think. I think the players who are defending dirty play are not very good basketball players. And they certainly aren't players who want to learn how to play defense. You emphasize to a player defense without fouling, because once you hit 6 fouls, you are ejected from the game. You get into what we call foul trouble. Nobody in the WNBA gets into foul trouble because the referees simply don't blow the goddamn whistle. The only player I saw get into foul trouble in the WNBA this season was Brittany Griner when she elbowed Caitlin Clark in the neck, and that was her 6th foul of the game. So I'm going to say to you, the players who make the statement that they need to be able to play tough defense because they're trying to win championships, and I know I can't remember the name of the player that said that, but I read it maybe two weeks ago. I'm going to maintain to you, those are players who don't want to play real defense. They just want to be able to go out there and hack other players. Okay? Kennedy Carter, and I know she's not in the league anymore, and I don't really care, okay? When she decked Caitlin Clark right in front of the referee, that's a flagrant 2. You're out of the game, okay? Sorry. When Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye and then got knocked down from behind earlier this year, that knockdown was an ejection. That's a flagrant 2. And don't upgrade it the day after the game. It does no good then. Sorry, get off on a little rant there. But it needs to be said. And, I understand that some of the teams in the league are complaining about the referees, and I know that Kathy Engelhardt said they are, quote, on it. Whatever that means. From my perspective, it seems like what they want to do is see if they could just say they're on it and just let it pass by. And before you know it, it'll be the end of the season and nothing will get done. So here's what I think. I think the fans need to be heard from. And I know there are people out there who've been naysaying the need for a petition because they won't do anything about it. You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay? The fans are the paying public. They are watching these games not to watch some kind of WWE event, but to watch basketball. It's an art. And to watch people play basketball. Those people who play basketball, like Caitlin Clark, they're artists. Okay? This is not some cheap-ass wrestling event. I'm not paying to see Hulk Hogan in a basketball suit. So I am going to do a petition, and it'll be in the next couple of days because it still has to be written, and I still have to find the right venue to put it up on so that everybody can access it. And I would hope that we could get 1 million signatures. Okay? I would hope we could get 1 million signatures. If people really care about the WNBA and watching good quality play, then we should be able to do that. We don't have to rush to get them all signed by the next 3 weeks. We need to share it. We need to get people to sign it, and we need to give it a shot. Okay, so let me move on to the last couple things here before I close it down. So, going back here for a second because I need to get past this, but I can't do that until I get on here. I like sharing stuff like this so you guys can see it. So let's talk about this now. The new Gatorade ad. I'm not going to play it because I don't want it to be choppy, but this is the new Gatorade ad, and it's got great visuals in it. It's got Asia Wilson, it's got Caitlin Clark, it's got a few other players in there. And, you know, it shows women, you know, in a position of strength, right? Going to the basket, you know, Caitlin Clark taking her outside jumpers. And then you get to the end of the ad, and the tagline is, I shit you not, let her cook. I understand, you know, the whole cook thing, but perhaps in a women's sport, that is not what you want to use as your tagline. I don't know. I'm not going to give you, I spent 35 years in advertising, and as soon as I saw that at the end, I went, did they test that ad line out with anyone? It seems to me they could have come up with something better. But be that as it may, to me, it sounds like let them cook. In other words, let's go put them back in the kitchen with their little aprons on. But be that as it may, perhaps the visuals are good enough to make the ad, you know, carry that theme. But of course, if you look at the comments under here, you know, under this, when you do take a look at the ad, because this will be in the description of the video. If you look at the comments from all the little misogynistic men under here, it's amazing how men still disrespect women's sports. And it's actually kind of nauseating. Although, given where we are in history, it doesn't surprise me. So let's go to the last thing we want to talk about. And this is that, not this, nope, not that. And certainly not this. But this. So Indiana signed Chloe Bibby today to a 7-day contract with the Indiana Fever. Now, everybody's out there going, oh, that means Caitlin Clark's not coming back for the rest of the year, blah, 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 blah. We don't know anything yet, all right? We simply don't know anything yet, okay? She's been playing in Australia. She did play against the Fever, and she played 24 minutes. She had 12 points, 3 rebounds, with 2 3-pointers. So they're giving her a 7-day contract, probably to see how she gels with the team before deciding to sign her for the rest of the season. They have room under the salary cap, so it's not a hardship thing. And I believe she will be playing, she'll be available for Sunday's game. So again, this is where we are. It gives them a 6'2". I believe she's 6'2". It gives them a 6'2" forward on the team right now. And we're going to talk about the team as it stands right now in the next couple of days. I believe they have 21 games left, and they have to win 12 games to make the playoffs. Don't know when Caitlin Clark's coming back. It's totally unclear. I do not believe it's day to day. This is what, you know, Coach Parselton keeps saying, that it's day to day. I believe it's week to week. And, you know, maybe they've signed Chloe Bibby because 7 days will get them through the month of July and into the month of August, when the playoff time is the most important. And it will either be that Chloe Bibby is there and Caitlin Clark doesn't play the rest of the season. We still don't know. That's not been decided. But I believe she's week to week. She spent 2 weeks out the last time she was injured. She's in the midst of her 2nd week out right now. And we'll see where it goes from here. It's day to day in terms of any new information we have, but we haven't received an update from the Fever since yesterday. So in my mind, these kinds of injuries are more like week to week. Okay, it's not like I turned my ankle yesterday and we'll see how I am tomorrow. This is not that kind of an injury. So that's basically what I have tonight. Again, nothing much to report. We've had, some discussions in the comments about Lexi Hull saying the Caitlin Clark will be ready to go next season. I, again, don't read much into that because I don't think that Caitlin Clark would speak through a fellow player. I think that information will come from Caitlin Clark, and it may be spoken to us by the team, but I do have somebody that I follow that I really think is a high quality person and is trustworthy. And she has made the deduction that the ball is in Caitlin Clark's court as to when she comes back. And that may be because Caitlin Clark has gone out and gotten her own doctors and is running her own treatment, which is, in my opinion, after watching the up and down this season, and maybe there's some kind of mistrust of the Fever doctors and their game plan, I can understand that. So I do believe that we will know when Caitlin Clark makes a decision. Until such time, I don't write her off for the season, but I also know one other thing. Caitlin Clark's got a long career ahead of her, and she is not going to make a decision that puts that career in jeopardy over one 21-game stint. So she will make the best decision for herself. And that, in my opinion, is as it should be. So you guys, I will talk to you again tomorrow, because there is sure to be some more drama out there. Actually, there is already drama out there. There's nothing but drama on social media. Every time I open up social media, every time I open up YouTube, it's Caitlin Clark is done with the Fever. Caitlin Clark is being traded. That's the new one out there. Caitlin Clark being traded with a big question mark. You know how this stuff goes. So we're going to try to debunk some of that stuff, but we're going to talk about the Indiana Fever team right now, because some people feel like Chloe Bibby being signed could mean that Brianna Turner is going to be cut, and I don't know that that's true, because we do have Caitlin Clark out with an injury. I honestly almost forget that Brianna Turner is even on the team. She gets so few minutes, and we're going to talk about that too. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great night.